I've learned my lesson. I am never going to mouth off Mother Nature because she can win.
As far as corn warriors in a competition, our competition's been Mother Nature this year, just trying to survive and get a crop in.
Kevin, David, get y'all some of this. It's not easy to farm it. That's why you gotta have that.
So welcome to season 3, Corn Warriors. Get that tanker ready, but I gotta figure out how to get you home.
I mean, the only thing really affects me is kryptonite. I mean, if you can't be the best at it, don't do it.
It's June 8th, it's kind of push comes to shove. We're basically planting through some of the wet stuff, around a few things.
I want everything to be perfect, and especially this year, it's not gonna happen. Ain't that something? That's just 2 days.
Well, my goal is to be a personal best, but our personal best is a world record.
I like to have the ability to make it rain.
Can we catch up? We're a month and a half behind. No, I mean, you keep getting the rain, you keep getting clouds, there's no heat. Where's the sunshine?
Yeah.
But I'm worried. This year, it's been a challenge.
Yeah, I don't know where to start. Kind of fell in a rainy pattern. We recorded 57 inches of rain, which for the whole year, our average is 43 inches. Welcome to the land of the milk and honey. Such a joy farming in the Midwest. Yeah, we've had some challenges this year.
You've been farming for about, what, 35 years, and you've never seen anything like this.
Nothing even close. You try to do the right thing by waiting, getting that perfect stand, but like I said, the main thing is Mother Nature. No matter what you do, she trumps you. I mean, for one, we're not going to accumulate sunlight. We just got past the summer solstice, and you know we should be bright, sunny. We're not. We are over a month behind on this corn here. Take a look at it. So this is not typically what we want to see. If you can see here, the stalks are not perfectly symmetrical. They got a little oval shape to it. So that tells me that it is not, you know, either it's oxygen or, I know it ain't water, but there's something in it that it is lacking by not having a good circular stalk. This corn right here, since it's been planted, has had over 3 foot of water on it. So when you're 100% saturated, it's actually worse than being dry, because at least when you're dry, you still have oxygen in your soil. Here, you're just drowning. That kills me when some of the agronomists always say, your corn's lacking nitrogen. No, it's not. It's lacking oxygen. Most of the time, it's lacking oxygen. But hell, you can look here if you look close. That's how it tells you how saturated our root fibers are already coming on top of the ground. Your roots actually turn around and try to come up to the ground to get oxygen. Absolutely a nightmare for growing corn when your roots are trying to do the opposite of what they should do. Yeah, it's not the best looking corn we've had. We've had headwater flatten this corn 3 times. It was completely bent over, laying on the ground. We got water, washed it back off. It stood up. 2 days later, flattened it again. It come back up, and then about 2 weeks after that. So it's this corn's kind of went through hell. This has been a super tough spring on us. Uh-oh, deader than a doornail. I said that we seen a big cloud coming over there, and I said, Mother Nature, you are not going to beat us. We are going to plant that. Well, it started raining, and I said, well, we're going to see who's more hard-headed, me or you, Mother Nature. Well, she won. I've learned my lesson. I am never going to mouth off Mother Nature because she can win.
For over 65 years, Brandt has been helping growers achieve better results. We bring the very best plant health and fertilizer solutions to the farm. Through research and innovation, we help growers implement new practices that improve the quality and abundance of food, fuel, and fiber around the world. Brandt, professional agriculture. Visit brandt.co for more information.
Randy's $64.99 over here. Ain't worth walking in though. Yeah, let's go. This field was planted too wet, just like anything else, but it was early. Planted so May 6th, May 7th, and May 8th was my first 3 plantings, and it's my best corn by far. I was just taking my time, trying to get the planter set and just trying to be patient because I figured we had a better window coming, and boy was I wrong. I should have planted like crazy them 3 days. About 18 inches of rain on a couple farms we got. This one here, we're probably 12 or 13. So yeah, we're a little above average. But man, it was getting hammered from day one. That's what hurts, you know. I'm a little concerned, don't really know how hard to push this stuff. With all my planned contest fields going, I ain't got no other choice but to keep this one going as best as possible. We're so close to this Wabash River that, you know, we don't even have to get the rains here. They get them up north of us, and that river stays so darn high that our water table's high, and it just won't dry out. And that's what we struggled with on a lot of our irrigated stuff, is it was dry on top, but it just wouldn't hold us up. That corn comes out of the ground, and I thought I was sitting pretty good, and when the stuff started growing, you could just see the compaction kick in where the height of the corn started varying, and you know, the rain just never let up, and I think that made it that much worse. This field here actually was no-till ripped. Don't do that very often, and just driving around here in our area, I mean, no-till by far is really shining. I still got a lot of questions why, especially on our farm. We do a lot of ripping because of the produce and trying to get that compaction out, but it just made it a lot worse on our compaction this year. But yeah, no-till by far is the best. We foliar fed this with the Brandt Smart BMO, and it's holding into that plant a lot longer than I thought. So that's one plus to this year, I guess, is, you know, we're learning and the stuff we're trying is working. But with all this rain, there's some other stuff that I've been keeping the same that's been working, that's going the other direction. According to my tissue test, sulfur was an issue. I just think we had so much rain to wash a lot of that out, and that was a challenge. I do believe it was showing nitrogen, sulfur, and magnesium deficiency on the lower leaves. It was just with all the rain. I don't think there's nothing I could have done about that. I really couldn't even fertigate. I had no time to fertigate with all these rains. I finally just had to start watering. The other day we had a little bit of green snap, and so them green snap ones, I pulled the ears off and counted, and a lot of 16 rows. And they started 18 and they went to 16, which all that early stress, I'm sure. Yeah, that's what we thought. We got some of this green snap. I mean, it is above the ear. I guess that's a plus. So it should put on an ear if it can pick up some pollen from its neighbor, but you know, it ain't picking up the sunlight. It ain't gonna amount to much. Oh, I don't think it can withstand too much more. This is the Agrigode 64432. This is a new number, not familiar with it. I think it's going to be pretty decent, but yeah, we did fight a little bit of green snap, and I mean, this is a pretty good spot here, but there's other spots out here. She's leaned over pretty good. But this is actually one of my planned contest fields, and got my fingers crossed on this one. That's a difference when I walk in this field and that 65-72, and I mean, it's just shade. The ground's completely shaded out in here, and you know, over there you can still see light on the ground. We got moles. This field here had a lot of moles in it. Darn Japanese beetles seem like they're killing us, and that's something I'm concerned about going into silks. But I ain't seen no issues yet. We may have to come in and spray for those beetles if they start attacking these silks. But for the most part, nothing huge where it's costing us anything yet. Insect control and all that ain't been bad. I need a little more nitrogen, and keep it healthy is going to be the key here. Right here is a pretty good spot. I mean, it looks good. Just hope it stands long enough. Buy corn.
For nearly a century, AgriGold has been the choice of corn and soybean growers bold enough to go and grow their own way. AgriGold brings the agronomic recommendations and resources growers expect from a larger seed company, combined with a first-hand, in-the-field understanding of the areas we serve. Our global breeding program and local yield results stack up against anyone when it comes to delivering at harvest. It's not luck, it's science. Be bold, go gold.
Being part of the next level, it's opened the growers' eyes to the mistakes that they've been making that are easily fixed.
If you join Next Level, I'm here to tell you the truth.
Gaining knowledge on so many different aspects of farming, what I can get out of Next Level.
We go to fields and actually show them the sins of what we've talked about in the winter.
Now we can show, hey, if you tweak this a little bit more, some of that low-hanging fruit's just going to become available to you.
We discuss yield maps, soil samples, tissue samples, how to set up a planter, how to set up a combine, when to spray, what to spray, how to spray, products to buy. We cover it all, so we teach them everything we know.
We all enjoy farming, but if we don't make money, we're not going to be able to be doing that. This is going to help implement that, even to the next step.
The high-shielding guys did what we asked them to do. What better testimony is that? Is it too late to join? Absolutely not.
Next Level takes a way different approach. We go through soil testing, tissue testing, very, very intensely.
We've went from tissue sampling a little bit to tissue sampling every week, seeing what's working, what's not, what our levels are doing, you know, and then taking that to yield.
For me, Next Level gives me an opportunity to get re-energized about a crop. Forces me to go home and reevaluate what I'm doing.
Yeah, here we are on July 4th. Supposed to be out barbecuing and drinking. Been fertigating corn. Trying to run some nitrogen on this corn before tassel, in between all the rains. Just can't win, just keeps coming. I noticed when we came around there that irrigation's out of the way, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this one and get this out of the way. Holy moly! It takes time getting everything set up. And we've got 3 of these pumps. We need about 5 more of them because we've got to move them around so much. We've got a lot of old pivots. I mean, we got some 40 years old. A lot of maintenance. Gotta get the air out of it. Then she should start pumping. It's starting to push it through it, I can feel it. Now you can tell she's really pumping now. You gotta be a jack of all trades when farming. I know how to do everything. This is the injection pump. This is how we're injecting the fertilizer in the water system. I've been running them pretty well wide open to get it on quick because the ground's pretty saturated the way it is. But this one here runs a little slower, so I gotta turn it down a little bit. This same deal, the water from this one comes from that one, so we need to go turn valves on over there to send the water this way. She's pumping, so So yeah, I think we're good to go. Most important thing that I've found with fertigating is agitation. I mean, it just depends on what you're mixing, but keeping everything in solution. So yeah, you keep circulating that liquid in there, and they call it a sparge tube. We got an actual 2-inch stainless pipe going through there with holes drilled all the way through it, and it actually rolls that product in that tank. And that's the best way to mix it up. If you can keep the motor running. We actually leave these idling all day long while it's sitting here. Probably not great on them. So this is my uncle's sweet corn field, and they just started harvesting a couple days ago. It's all hand-picked. I just know it tastes good. I'd put his sweet corn up against anybody's out there. That's still one bag. Can I get one bag? Oh no, one bag. Thank you, sir. Tell Kevin I picked this for him myself. This corn market's got to improve, but it don't need to go crazy because then we lose demand. But yeah, there's definitely some hope for the corn market. You know, I can pick a field to death and find all kinds of problems, and people give me hell about it. You know, I want them all to be clones. I want every plant to be the same, the girth of the stalk the same. And when you come to, you know, a smaller plant, smaller stalk, you know, I want to know why. I want to know what's going on there. So I don't know what to call this hybrid. Actually here I got, well, this would be 2089, and right next to the road would be 1846. You know, I always like to play with different hybrids and see some new stuff. And I like them hybrids, them big fat leaves, you know, that take up all that sunlight. I change populations a lot, probably too much. Just do little strips here and there. Population seems like the easiest way to try to get some of these higher yields, and I know it don't work that way. It's all fine, but you've really got to manage them populations. You got to feed them things, and you know, if you plant 40,000 and feed it like 32,000, it's costing you money. But as long as you feed that 40,000, I think it can produce. This is my first year for pop-up fertilizer. So this field, I've got 4 different scenarios and rates, and then I've got fungicide, insecticide added in on it. I've got PGRs with and without. Yeah, I've got a lot of potential data out here. If I can get Brandon to slow down harvesting to actually weigh some of that out and get some data out of it. I've got a few more brace roots than I have in my other fields. Nothing horrible though. A lot of these lower leaves. These right in front of me ain't bad, but not a lot of sunlight hitting the ground to reach those leaves. But still, I got a lot of discoloration in these leaves, and I think a lot of them showing magnesium and nitrogen deficiencies, and I've been fertigating and doing all I can to that. And today the humidity is just crazy. I mean, it feels like it's 100 out here. What did I say, the temperature of my truck said just under 90, but it feels like it's 100. You know, that's what we've been getting these last few days in the afternoons. It got so hot, it's been brewing up these thunderstorms. We've been missing them until last night. We got hammered with a good 2 inches. We need to heat right, but the rain needs to give us a break for a while. Is what it is, I reckon. Yeah, this is Agrigold's. I stuck with the longer maturity stuff. This is 113 day, and actually I got another hybrid out there, it's 114 day, but I got 64.99 stack, and then I've got 644.32 out on the other end. V3 is what it looks like. It ain't messing around, it's taking off. It's gonna be tall. So yeah, this year we added the 360 wide drops to our side dressing rig, and boy did that work good. When I got on some of the non-irrigated stuff, with all this weather we've been having, I'd kind of like to bust some centers up, let a little bit of oxygen in that ground. But yeah, I was just shocked how well that placement was. We'll transfer these to the sprayer then, and then Hopefully some of this later corn will get a chance to get in there. If it quits raining, the actual wide drop some taller corn with that. I had to add a beam in here, so that took a little bit of time. But as far as just bolting the wide drops on, I mean, heck, an hour we had them on there. I mean, you can run fast. I mean, I was running good 10, 12 mile an hour that thing across there. Great design. Worst thing about it, it's on a red bar. It needs to be green. It can always be painted, right? Yeah, it's hot as heck out here, and got irrigation to check, and it's 4th of July, and time for you guys to get the heck out of here and leave me alone. Catch you later.
Tissue sample is telling me we still have 350 potential. My heart is telling me we don't. I think it just went through too much. Perfect weather, yeah, we can, we feel pretty confident we can grow 350 bushel corn pretty consistently, and a big part of it is our tissue samples. It's a roadmap, but, we're kind of going in this year has been something we've never seen, and our tissue samples, I don't know, are even going to help us on this, we've just never been in this kind of situation before. We lost all of our river bottom, which was our main contest the last several years, we lost 100% of them. 2019 can't go away quick enough, that's all I can say. It will be what it'll be. Now, if we can go over this way a little bit, getting a little bit better corn. This here won't even be shelled for the contest, this spot. Yeah, we'll go over this way a little bit. So this corn, you can tell, is a little better, a little taller. This is probably going to be where our sweet spot's going to be at from here on out. Tissue samples right through here is really good. We've been pulling tissue samples for a long time, and the biggest thing that we see when we get tipped back on our farm is our potassium levels dropping. Okay. You're going, normally when we're pollinating, we're at 90 plus degrees and at 85% humidity, and nights we cool down to 70 to 75. So that corn plant don't get a lot of time to rest. It's just like us. We burn energy trying to cool ourselves, and the corn plant's the same way. And Gatorade has a thing, vitamins and potassium. Same thing for a corn plant. So if you have issues with tip back, I'd say work on your potassium a little bit. Here you look at all these perfect ear leaves, same height, all the way down through here. Perfect height, all of them right there. But the good thing is this corn should only get about 13 feet tall this year, so we shouldn't have no problem pouring no coals to it, running another 20, 25 trips across there so we can catch Brooks. And Randy and David we can't catch, but maybe Matt and Dan we can catch, because I hate to say this, I think we're playing back fiddle to them guys this year. I'm not very confident in beating them boys this year. We may be down, but we're not out yet, boys. Put it this way, if I can grow 300 bushel this year, this will be by far the best achievement our farm has ever done.